Hi guys, I'm Peyton and you're watching Happily Ever Ignash. Thanks for stopping in today. I'm going to be reviewing the 3 different wedding planner binders or notebooks that I've been using and show you what I liked about them, what I didn't like, how I use them, and how I'm currently using them, or if I'm currently using them. I bought one, which I'm going to show you first, and then I will explain why I didn't stick with this one. It's still a really great wedding planning binder, but I'll give you my reasons for not sticking with it. Then I'll show you the binder that I'm currently using along with the notebook that I use as well. Just real quick before I get started into all the pros and cons and everything in this particular planner, I wanted to let you know that I do have a website. The link will be in the description below, where you can actually get all of the pros, cons, and information about this planner without having to take notes yourself. I know a lot of people, myself included, tend to listen to the videos in the background or will be watching them or having them play while you're doing something else and you don't really have time to take all the notes. So I already did the notes for you. I put it into my website. You can click the link below and read through them. There's also notes already there for you for the other planners that I'm going to be reviewing over the next 2 weeks. So you're gonna get a little bit of a sneak peek of the other planners that I'll be reviewing, some of their pros and cons, but it'll be through the notes version rather than the video. But otherwise, please enjoy the video. If you like it, please hit the like button down below and don't forget to subscribe. So the first one is called the Complete Wedding Planner. On the back here, it has this big note. It says, "Congratulations on getting engaged. You're getting ready to plan for the most exciting day of your life. This stylish wedding planner will help you organize everything you need for your big day and keep everything together. This planner is packed full of handy hints and tips, a honeymoon packing list, plus has plenty of room for notes, plans, and checklists of everything you could need to plan for the perfect wedding. With handy checklists every month, it's the perfect guide for the run-up to your wedding day. We realize that your plans can change. That's why we also support the book with some free online templates that you can use to accompany the planning of your special day. Enjoy." And then it's signed "Your Perfect Day." So it's super duper cute. It's got a marble print to it. It has gold accents on it. So the binding is gold. The corners have the gold metal on them. It does have an elastic on the back, so you can, wrap it around, keep it all closed together. The letter on the back is super cute. It's a very pretty and it's just a really nice looking planner overall. So this is the front again. As you can see, all the gold accents. It does have that marble look to the planner. Just a really attractive planner overall. Inside, we have a nice large pocket. I would say this is probably an 8.5 by 11, almost like a standard sheet of paper in terms of sizing, but I will have the link in the description so you can get the actual dimensions. And then up here you have the wedding day of. I really like all of the designs in the pages. I think they're really pretty. I like the color scheme. This is a different letter from the wedding and event planner and then the co-founder of Your Perfect Day. I'm not going to read the whole letter to you. If you decide that you want to get the planner, you can read that for yourself. And then here are the contents of the binder. So your wedding vision, use this section to get creative and set a tone for your wedding. Print out pictures, stick in bridal magazine cutouts, add images from Pinterest, fabric swatches, and more to create your vision boards. These act as a visual reference for the key elements in your day. So this is it has a section, and I'll show you, for all your it's like making mini vision boards, which is kind of cool. It just tells you how to do this. So discuss ideas with your partner. These are the things that you're looking for: your ceremony, your reception, your gown and outfits, your groom's outfits, your bridal party, transport and accommodation, cake and catering, makeup and beauty, your honeymoon, and then other inspiration. So those are all the items that they're saying you would need a vision board for. Then you have your fundamentals and timeline. This section is your main wedding planning section. Firstly, choose your bridal party. and set your budget. Track all of your key dates and milestones with your countdown calendar. So this has all the different steps that are involved here. And then your guest planning. This section will help you keep track of who has been invited, who is attending, who is also handy to track any gifts received from your guests. So this has the guest list etiquette, your guest list, seating plans, table plans, layouts, gift list, your gift list, notes, and to-dos. So those are the three first sections. Next, you have your venues and vendors. It says this section will help you keep track of all your vendors, your chosen wedding venues, hotels, and guest accommodations. So there's all this information that you can keep track of in that one section. I'm not going to go through the whole list here. Lastly is our wedding day. This section includes all of the useful info for you in the run up to your wedding and your wedding day. Keep track of your readings, music choices, itinerary, and more. So it has readings, music choices, creating your photography list, sample itinerary, our itinerary, a wedding day survival kit, honeymoon packing checklist, your vows, notes, last minute to-dos, and then ready, steady, wed. So those are all the sections you're gonna find in this binder. It's a lot. They really did think of probably everything. So this is the wedding vision section. So they have like a folder here. So this has a little pocket. You can put pictures or papers or anything like that that are important into that section. Then you've got discuss with your wedding day with your partner. This is your ideas. Like this is all my stuff. This is what I wrote down. And then I asked Mike, what does he want? And this is his ideas. I feel like this is probably quite standard for grooms, that they don't really have much of an idea, but black light or lighting on white cake. There was a Pinterest picture that he liked. Indoor ceremony, which we're not doing, but we have an indoor-outdoor reception. So that was all he wanted. Like that was literally it. All right, this section is where you have all your vision boards. This is one of the things that I think for some brides would be amazing, but for me personally, I did not even use this section for most of it. So this is a doodle that I came up with, like the signs that I wanted to put. This is kind of like the layout for the ceremony, what I wanted for the aisle, how I want the arbor to look, with some notes here. But this, you really could use this for like printing out pictures, getting magazines, and doing all kinds of fun things with this. I'm more of a digital person, so I did not use the paper version of this as much as I have used digital vision boards. So a lot of my vision board stuff is on Pinterest, so that's why I haven't really used these. Your reception vision board, if you're a very hands-on person and you want to actually create these, then they're here for you, which is awesome. Like I said, this is one of the things that I did not use, and I felt like it was a little overwhelming because I felt like I needed to use them and I didn't. But they have a lot of them. If you like making collages and that's what you have time to do, then this is a perfect binder for you. I just personally don't do that. All right, next is fundamentals and timeline. Oh my gosh. So another pocket here for this is your bridal party information. Setting your budget. So this has some tips and ideas and ways to set your budget, but I'm not going to read all of that for you. And then who traditionally pays for what? This has been a very helpful section. This is something that I was like, oh, perfect. So I know who to ask. So like the ceremony, it says that the bride's family, bride and bride's family, marriage license is the groom and the groom's family. The dress is the bride, the groom's outfit is the groom, flower and decoration, so bride's bouquets is typically the groom, all other flowers is typically the bride, the honeymoon is typically the groom and family, photography is typically the bride's family, pre-parties, so the engagement is usually the bride or groom's family, the rehearsal dinner is typically the groom's family, the bachelorette party is typically the maid of honor and bridesmaids, and then the bachelor party is typically the best man and groomsmen. The reception is typically the bride and the bride's family, as well as the DJ, band, and alcohol. The rings, so the groom's ring is typically the bride and the bride's family. The bride's ring is typically the groom and the groom's family. Stationery is typically the bride's side, and then wedding transportation is typically the bride's side as well. And then this says everything in it. So if you are a paper-based person and you want to write it all down, Here you go, baby. This is your sweet spot. I don't do this very well. I put it digital. So I have a digital copy, not a copy of this, but I have a digital spreadsheet that I use for all this. But it's got everything here from the ceremony, reception, wedding attire, beauty, entertainment, decor, and dressing, capturing the day, communications and stationery, transport, rings, and miscellaneous. It has for each one the budget price, what you want to budget for, the actual price, and then any notes that you would have for that item. And they do also have these little tips down here, which is really helpful. The wedding countdown. This is another one that is really awesome, but for me, I didn't have 12 months. I had 9. So I had a hard time, it was very overwhelming knowing that this third section here, which is 7 to 9 months, I had to do everything before that. Like all of this whole page had to be done whenever I started. So that really was a challenge for me. I do listen to the wedding planning podcast, and they have a vault with like some really cool, like you just got engaged stuff that you can get for free, as well as some other materials. So I printed this out, and this is what I kind of started with in terms of my checklists and deadlines, master timeline. I will link to her website as well. She's been really, really helpful. I love all of that stuff. Here's more of the checklist. This is a calendar, which this was really cool too, but again, I prefer digital. So if you are a paper-based human, you are gonna love this binder. It's got everything. I mean, every single month, basically, you could fill out by hand. I just don't like doing that. I don't fill it out by hand. All right, these are just my notes. I'll put those aside for now. All right, next you have the guest planning section. And again, the problem I had is that I just don't do paper-based. So you can type in the name. I'm not gonna show you all my guest names, but it does have notes and kind of some tips and such. There's a free download for templates online that you can get from yourperfectday.com/templates. So I'll put that in there too. But you've put in their name, if they're a day guest or an evening guest or both, if you've sent the save the date, if you have sent the invitation, and if they are attending, and then at the very end, you can put what gift they gave you. And it gives you, oh gosh. So this is 31 people. This has got 47 people. And then you still have, I'm guessing these are probably about 47 or maybe 50, and maybe I miscounted. So if we're to just say 50, 100, 150, 200, so over 200 people that you could put in here. This is the table settings, table seating plans. So this has the traditional seating plans, a popular alternative plan. This explains how you make a seating plan, and then it has where you can make it all here, which is really cool. But again, I'm not a paper-based human. Now this part I probably will end up using. I've just not used it yet because I don't know. The venue will tell, they have different layouts for the number of people. So this is your gift list. You can write down what the item was, where they were from, how many you got, and then the price. It has some notes and some tips and things to discuss. And it has all sorts of pages for that, and then a notes section. I do like that they have a notes section at the end of each section. Next, you have venues and vendors. This section will help you keep track of all your vendors. It has some tips, another pocket here, so if you have pamphlets or cards that you need to keep, just some good things to remember. The venue shortlist. So this is literally you pick out your top 5, or actually your top 7 before you ever go. And then you can take notes on each one. So you put in the cost, the number of people allowed, the contacts, an email, do they allow kids, restrictions, accommodations, and then notes for each section. They also have a tip section here as well. Guest accommodations. So this is again where guests could potentially stay, and they give you space for up to 4. Choosing your vendors. This is some information and tips that would be helpful. Photographer, videographer. Questions. This list is actually really helpful. Questions to ask the photographer before you book them. There's a notes section here along with a tip. A question for your videographer along with some notes. The dress, so things that you need to know about the dress. Picking out your dresses if you like to write everything down. Bridesmaids, grooms, outfits. Caterers and questions to ask caterers, which are also very helpful. Your caterer's information and more questions to ask. Floral, so questions to ask your florist, their vendor name and contact information. Same thing with your wedding cake, the questions and the vendor that you've chosen. Wedding hair, things to ask, and who your stylist is going to be. Same thing again with makeup, things to ask, what to consider, and your contact information. Beauty treatment, so this is, it says, have you remembered to book all your treatments? So this is just who you need to go to, where you're getting it done, and all their contact information. The officiant, the good questions to ask, who your chosen officiant is, transportation, entertainment, so if you're doing a DJ or a band or something else, and all of those lists. Favors, this has some popular ideas for favors that you're giving your guests. Wedding bands, so bride size, groom size, some tips on how to choose them, where you're gonna go, and all the notes that you might wanna take. Stationery, so this has a list of all the stationery that you need, how many, the cost, and the arrival date. There's also a tip and a notes section. Your wedding website, this has all of the information you want to have on your website, along with tips and notes. Additional vendor information if you have somebody else that you have hired. Researching honeymoon destinations, some good places that might be popular during certain times of the year, and some tips to go along with that. Again, we have honeymoon notes, and then we have just a bunch of other notes sections here. The last section is our wedding day. So this is your readings, typical readings for the Bible or non-biblical readings that are used. These are the readings, who you're getting them read by if you have any speakers. Your music choices, so this is a good music list to use. Your photography checklist, so this is a good spot to start with the pictures that you want for all of the different sections of your wedding. Your sample itinerary, so this one is a really good inclusive list for a wedding itinerary. And then this is where you'd put in our itinerary. The wedding day survival kit, so I'm gonna give this to my maid and matron of honor and have them put this together. The honeymoon packing checklist here, we will probably most likely be using. I do like packing checklists a lot, so this will be something I will probably use later whenever we get closer to that point. Writing your vows, this is a whole page here on how to write your vows. I haven't looked through this one yet because we're nowhere near the time that we need to be writing these, but I do have some other resources that I've used as well, such as the Wedding Planning Podcast that talks a lot about some of the same tips. So I'll look through these whenever we get to that point, but this will be really helpful. This will be a great place to put notes about the vows. I just know that we also have books that we're going to use. So this might be a good spot to start. I just won't keep it on here, and then I can hand this to him if he wants to, but I don't really need to know what his vows are going to be beforehand. This is just last minute to-do list, which is really helpful. I know some things that I will have to put on there is to pack all of the decorations that we have at home into a box and organize it and take pictures of how everything is supposed to be set up and where, and then attach it to the outside of the box. That's my plan. I've not heard anybody say to do that, but that's just my plan. So that will be one of my last minute to do things, is to take pictures of like the centerpieces, take pictures of everything and how they're supposed to be set up, and then attach those pictures, print them out, attach them to the outside of the boxes where they are placed inside of, so that whenever we get to the venue, we can just unload everything, and then the people who are there who are going to help us will be able to know what to do. And then this is Ready, Steady, Wed. So these are the pro tips for just before the big day or for the big day. So this will definitely be something that will hang up in the fridge of our hotel room. And that is the end. Hi guys, so today is a new day. I ran out of time yesterday for filming because by the time I was done with recording the book, it was dinner time and then bedtime. It is a new day that I'm finishing this up. I do apologize if that throws you off. So I just got finished reviewing The Perfect Day, the complete wedding planner. The pros about this book, the things that I do really, really like about this book is, one, they thought of absolutely everything. Everything that you could possibly need in your wedding planning journey is gonna be in this book. It's all there, from your timeline all the way through your packing lists and for the day of to-do lists and things like that. So that is a really awesome thing that you're gonna get in this one book, this one, like, it's not a binder, but this one spiral notebook. Pro number 2 is that the size is really nice. It gives you plenty of space to write. It fits nicely into a backpack, into a larger carrying bag. That's what I use whenever I am going around and doing my wedding planning stuff. So pro number 3 is the way that this is made. You have a spiral notebook style, and it allows you to flip the pages back and lay flat on either side. So that way you don't have to worry about having a big crease on one side or trying to bend back a book or get a binder messed up. It flips completely back and you can write on either side and have a flat space to write. Pro number 4 is that every section has a pocket. So if you like to be really organized with where your notes and such go, because I have a whole stack of other notes that I have taken on different paper. I have pamphlets, I have business cards, everything. I've had stuff printed off. So if you are really good at organizing, you can use the folders in each section to put any notes that are related to that section with their particular area in the book. So that's really awesome. Pro number 5 is that there is plenty of space for you to take notes. The pages are big. They're like almost a full-size sheet of paper. They're probably 8 by 10 and a half maybe instead of 8.5 by 11, but they might be 8.5 by 11. I didn't measure them, but there's plenty of space to write. There's plenty of sections that are just strictly note sections behind or in the back of each area. So that's really nice as well. And then pro number 6, this is the last pro that I'm going to give you for this one, is if you like to handwrite things, if you are a handwriting person and that is how you prefer to stay organized, this will help you stay organized in any section of your wedding planning journey that you might need. This will help you keep everything in one place. It has the checklist for you. It has the to-do list for you, a list up to, I believe it was like 230 something guest list spaces. It also allows you to put your gifts there, everything. So if you are a handwriting person, this is a great purchase for you. If you are flipping over into the cons side, if you are not good at keeping track of handwritten stuff, or if that's not your organizing style, for me personally, I prefer to keep things digital because 1, I can't lose them if they're on the computer. You can, but I don't. That is one of my good things, is I don't lose things when they're digital. And 2, I prefer the digital because if I need to make changes, I can easily make changes and you would never even know that the thing I changed had to be changed. So like, for example, if I type in that flowers are gonna cost $1,000 and then they only end up costing $500, I don't need 2 columns to do that. I just changed the 1,000 to 500. So that's a con in this, is that it is all paper-based. I personally am not good at that. Some people are great at it. I'm not one of them. I am a digital person. Another con, if you're not planning your wedding for 12 months by the time that you get this notebook in, you're gonna have some catch up to do. I had only 9 months from the time that we were engaged till the wedding day. So this had 12 months of a timeline. And yeah, a lot of the stuff we had done really quickly anyways, but it kind of made me feel rushed at the very beginning because I didn't have 12 months. And I felt like I needed to be where the 9-month mark was at 9 months, which means that I had 3 sections of to-do lists to get done when I had just started. So if you're not a 12-month bride, you don't have 12 months to plan, then if you get stressed out like me about stuff like that, that might be something stressful for you. You might want to go and look for one that has 9 months instead of 12. If that's not a big deal for you, that's not a big deal. I mean, that's totally up to you. Con number 3 is that I found this book to be overwhelming. There is so much information in this book, and there's so much information that goes into wedding planning. Like, don't get me wrong, any wedding planning is gonna be overwhelming, but this, I just personally felt like I was getting overwhelmed by the amount of stuff in this book. Some people like to have it all in front of you. So if you like to have it all laid out from day one, you can see every single section that you need to put in, every single area of your wedding that you need to plan. This is a great book for you. It's all there. You buy the book and it's there for you. Plus, they do have online templates as well. So they have additional resources online. I will put that link in the description below. And I think that's about it. 6 pros and 3 cons. It's a really great wedding planning book, don't get me wrong. This one just didn't work for me. If you like this book, if you like the things that are in it, the link for the Amazon website as well as the Perfect Day website will be in the description below. If you like this video, please give it a great big thumbs up. Hit that like button down underneath the video screen. And then next to that, there's the bright red subscribe button. If you click that button, there's also a little bell that will pop up. That will allow you to sign up for notifications. Next week, I'm gonna be reviewing the current wedding planning binder that I am using now after I decided that that wedding planning binder was just not for me. This is the Kate Spade, This is the Kate Spade New York wedding planning binder. I love Kate Spade and I saw this and I wanted it, and it was also a lot less overwhelming for me than the other one. But next week I will be reviewing this one and show everything that you're gonna get in the Kate Spade wedding planning binder as well. If you wanna know the difference between the Perfect Day wedding planner and the Kate Spade, you're gonna have to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and the next Wednesday during Wedding Planning Wednesdays, around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will have access to a video to discuss the Kate Spade wedding planning binder. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We will see you on Friday for Fun Adventures Friday, whenever I get to talk about what happened at Disney Springs that was not so fun for us to have to deal with. So, until then, have a great day. And thanks for watching. Bye.